Welcome to this latest episode of Q&A Thursday on the Assets for Life YouTube channel. Thanks very much for tuning in. And in this episode, I'm going to be answering your questions that's going to help you start, scale and grow your property business. My name's Liam Ryan. I'm one of the co-founders of Assets for Life. We are a boutique property investment and educational business, and ultimately my role is to raise money, build the business, work alongside my business partner, and deliver fantastic content out to you so you can become financially free through property. Please hit subscribe and the notification bell right now, and if you can please hit the like button immediately, that will really help me out. We're going to go into Q&A Thursday now, and I'm going to answer your questions. So question number one, this is a brilliant question, and the question is, Liam, why did you start your property career? Well, look, I started my property career doing it the right way in 2015. And what happened is my other business, which was a renewable energy company, I was in a position where I was forced to close it down. And at the time of closing that company down, I had over 115 staff members, but there was a change in legislation which meant the business was no longer scalable or sustainable. And maybe you've been in a position yourself at some point where you've lost the business, you've been made redundant, you've needed to change your business model. It's very painful. And I was in a position where I was at a crossroads. I was feeling very sorry for myself. I really didn't know which way to turn, and I just knew that I wanted something different. And about a week after making the decision to run my business down, you couldn't just shut the business overnight. I had to run the business down, and we had a period of about 4 months before the new tariffs kicked in for renewable energy. About a week later, the phone goes in my office, and it's a guy called Jay Munoz. And Jay says on the phone to the girl, hey, I've heard the news about renewable energy. I'm really interested in reducing my electricity bill. You guys have been calling me for the last few months. I'm now ready to have a solar assessment. So the girl on the phone, she says, hey, look, no problem. I'm actually going to send Liam Ryan, the MD, round to you. So later on that afternoon, I jumped in my car, I drove down the A12, I knocked on Jay's house, and there he was, Jay Munoz, the Colombian. And I walked into Jay's house, we hit it off really well. I sold him solar panels, I'd done him a really good deal, and then he started to tell me he was a professional property investor. And he started to tell me that he'd been doing HMOs. He'd also worked alongside Alan Sugar as a project manager for Skanska and ISG. He's a chartered civil engineer. He loves floor plans and project management and project directorship. And he's worked on some of the biggest builds in London. And I started to think, I was like, hey, there's some synergy here. And I thought, this guy knows what he's doing. So I said to Jay, look, you've been in property for a long time. I said, I've been in property part-time because I was a part-time amateur investor for many years, made some money, lost some money, actually lost a lot of money in property first time round because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no mentorship, no guidance, no advanced training. I wasn't hanging around with the right type of people. And I said to Jay, I said, look, I've made some money, I've lost some money in property. I'm at a bit of a crossroads, and as you know, the government are going to be pulling the tariff on renewable energy, so I'm looking to get into something different. He said, look, I'm looking for a JV partner. I've been spinning all the plates myself. He said, I don't really have a business mindset. He said, I've been employed for years and years and years and years, and property can be a bit lonely on your own. So I said to Jay, I said, look, what do we need to do in order to get started? He said, look, I feel like I've hit a wall. We need to go and get some high-level mentoring. He said, I'm part of a large property training group. He said, let's go to one of their events, keep an open mind and see what you think. And, if I'm being completely honest, I was very skeptical. I said to Joe, I said, look, you want me to go to one of these events It's going to be like high-fivey, American style. Everyone's going to be clapping. And then the chances are, Jay, they're going to ask me to go to the back of the room and pay for some type of course. He said, look, it's probably one of those types of events, but keep an open mind. So I went to that event and I sat in the audience. And maybe you've done something similar before. And I was skeptical in the morning, but by the afternoon, I knew it was the right thing to do. And I started my professional property career. I paid £25,000 on 2 credit cards to cover my training and to cover mentorship. I attended that training course. I learned some new systems, some things I wasn't aware about around JV finance and multiple streams of property income. This is why it's really important to go training, go on training events, get mentorship, go on advanced training. And I started to implement what I was shown. And I started to raise money, I started to do deals. So I got into this because my back was up against it. I got into this because I was losing money. I got into this because I lost my business. I got into this because I wanted to create passive income. I wanted to create freedom and legacy for my futures. So it doesn't matter who you are or where you're from or what your current position is, you can start in property immediately and you can start moving towards financial freedom, towards legacy building and doing something that you're really proud of. I'm so grateful to my business partner, Jay. I give myself a pat on the back because I nearly talked myself out of going to that event. And I guarantee you now, if I hadn't have took action, I wouldn't be where I am today. So here we go, question number 2. And the question is, Liam, what strategy did you do first in property? Now that's a really good question because you have what's called multiple streams of property income. There's so many ways in which you can make money in property. You've got single lets, you've got HMOs, which are multi-lets. You've got lease options, serviced accommodation. You can do land development, commercial conversions, deal packaging, assisted sales. You can do rent-to-rent deals. You can raise joint venture finance. And what I see a lot of people doing that don't have the right training is chasing the shiny penny. They're jumping from strategy to strategy to strategy. And I'm here to tell you now that with every strategy, there's going to be some upsides and there's going to be some downsides. And whatever you do, you're going to have a few bumps in the road. And it's quite normal. Hey, we're building a business here. And what I decided is that I needed a high cash flowing strategy. I wasn't earning money at the time. I just closed my business. I lost a lot of money. I had bills to pay, a lifestyle to live, family to feed. So my back was up against it. So I focused on raising joint venture finance and buying HMOs using none of my own money. Each of those HMOs was generating between £1,000 and £2,000 a month net profit. And that was really what enabled me to give me cash flow to ultimately then move on to other things like land development and commercial conversions. For most people that I train, they are looking for an income replacing strategy. And if that's you, I highly recommend that you get involved with the multi-let model, HMOs or serviced accommodation. And you can do that buying the asset either with or without your own money and use investor money, or you can do rent to rent where you don't own the asset, but you're managing the asset or you're leasing the asset as a company, and then you're operating that as serviced accommodation or HMO. So what I want you to do is think about your personal situation and what's most important to you. So I've been talking to you about the importance of getting a mentor and going to events. I run property events throughout the UK. And what I want to do now is say to you, come and hang out with me. Click the link in the description below and you can get a complimentary ticket to one of my up and coming property events. I'm going to welcome you with open arms. You're going to get to meet lots of the Assets for Life team, and I'm really going to give you exactly what you need so you can start, scale and grow your business, and you can become financially free within the next 12 months. Some of my graduates are financially free quicker. Hey, some people takes a little bit longer, but you've got to get started. So go for it. Come and hang out with me. Click the link in the description and I'll see you at one of my up and coming events. Question number 3. Liam, how were you able to build a property business so quick? And that's a really good question because, September 2015, I started on this process. So, nearly 4 years ago. And in the first year alone, we bought 11 multi-let properties and also a land development deal where we were building 7 flats and 2 houses. And in the first year, I raised over £1 million in joint venture finance. So why was this possible? How did we do this? Well, the first thing is we got fully focused and committed and we got advanced training. Me and my business partner, we split key result areas, we split tasks so we weren't focusing on the same thing. But ultimately what really helped me and what helps the people that I train is that I invested in advanced training and mentoring. I knew exactly what I was doing on a day-to-day basis and I got full support and full accountability from my mentor. Mentorship is absolutely paramount to success. And if you've not got a mentor in your life right now, you need to really consider getting one. And this is one of the fastest ways to achieving great things in property. Find who you like, go and spend some time with them, go on their advanced training, and then pay them to mentor you. Copy what they do and you're going to get the same results. We are literally coming up to our 4th year anniversary. We have now added and done over 50 property deals, raised over £5 million in joint venture finance, and I've now trained hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people across the UK and really helped people like you achieve financial freedom, get more confident, work on your mindset, and really start building a legacy for your future. Get yourself into property as quick as you can. You're just one decision, one deal away from building passive income or making big lumps of cash. I really hope you've enjoyed this latest episode of Q&A Thursday. I love answering your questions. So in the comments below, leave me a question. Maybe you've got a block, a barrier. I'm sure there's something you want to know about property. So do it right now. Drop me a question and I'll make sure I give you a shout out on one of the next Q&A videos. Now, if you're watching this video, you're watching because you've got an interest in property. I've built a multi-million pound property portfolio using none of my own money, and I've launched a book which is called Bricks, Mortar and Other People's Money. And what I want to do now is give you the opportunity to get my book completely free of charge by clicking the link in the description. It will be delivered out to you in the next couple of days. The only thing that I ask is that you leave me a 5-star Amazon review. So go for it. Click the link below, get a copy of my best-selling book, Bricks, Mortar and Other People's Money. In this book, I'm going to share with you the No Money Down Blueprint. This is my 6-step system that will enable you to go and find joint venture finance. This has really helped lots of people achieve financial freedom. So go for it. Click the link in the description and get my book absolutely free of charge. See you in the next video. Take care.